Emotional damage.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome back.
What up, though? Wow, everyone's sick all around the country, apparently.
Everyone's getting
influenza, diarrhea.
Back to back.
If you got heartburn, nausea, indigestion.
Oh,
upset tummy?
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, that
stuff actually. I had that stuff turn my tongue black once. I freaked out about it, and I was like, Sam. She's like, what?
Really?
And I was like, she was like, oh, what the hell's wrong with you?
Like, why is your tongue black?
I had heartburn, now I don't.
You're like one of those chow dogs.
Help me.
It like
the
neutralizes the stomach acids.
A doctor told my wife, like, if there's anything you could stay away from, do not use Pepto-Bismol. It does more harm than help.
But I drink a shot a day of it.
Yeah, I think it's just way too much stuff.
Why don't you dip the dog in the Pepto?
Once you
try that.
Yeah, man, that.
Just dip it in.
He drank the whole thing. He's dead now. You know?
No, he's not.
My dog's got blue spots on her tongue.
Blue spots? Oh, yeah, dangerous. Yeah. That's why it's so dangerous.
Not to me.
Oh, man. All right, so we got so much going on. I think we're gonna go over the Ukraine situation. How about them apples?
There's
so much. Like, we're obviously in that realm where Zelenskyy's freaking out, it appears.
Yeah.
Europe's really freaking out. And Trump is... Lavrov,
he's back
Marco
home.
Rubio, and everyone's talking now.
Trump's back home. Look at that.
Look at him.
Look at him back.
Never happened if I was in office.
It probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Honestly.
You know, he said something. Was it today?
Yes,
I think it was today. He said, this evening. Trump said, not only would this war not have happened, he's like, I had a relationship with Putin, and he kept talking about Ukraine, and I know that was the apple of his eye. I shouldn't say that, but it was the apple of his eye. I'll be honest with you. And I told him, no, you can't do that. No, don't you dare do that.
I
talked to him like a kid, basically.
No.
And he's like, and he didn't.
No, don't you touch it.
Gentle
until
parenting.
I left.
Yeah. And it worked.
So that's interesting perspective, because that says he wanted Ukraine, not just that it was a threat to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was the apple of his eye. That is Trump's words saying that's what Putin.
It was the apple of his eye, and it probably is. That's a giant, massive land, a lot of resources, a lot of people.
We're interested in them.
It would have done a lot for Russia, to take it. But that's not going to happen now. We sent was it 350 billion to Ukraine for defense.
Yeah,
they're thinking they got at least 200 of it, I think is the number, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
200, and
I actually made it to him.
Trump said what? Europe sent around 100 billion. So
yeah,
I mean,
so collectively it's crazy. So I think correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm always going to lean a little more towards Ukraine, right? I do like Zelensky. I am finding, actually, Brian Luss said, sounds like you kind of not a big fan of him anymore, and that wasn't true over the past few days, though. And thinking about that question, I think it is starting to become true. Yeah. Actually, you said it really well. I'll let you talk about it, about why the public 4% is crazy. That's not real, but why is the public not cool with him?
Yes, for Zelensky, right? So for his approval rating, Trump said 4%. There's no way it's 4. It's probably 30 to 40% at this time. With what's going on the last few months, it's probably plummeted. But, my view of Zelensky, just from the outside source, looking at him, he has made some really bad decisions over the last few years, and he's been lucky to survive at the start of the war. If you look at it, he got extremely lucky. Assassination attempt after assassination attempt. He pushed into this role because he survived as this hero, being on the front lines of the streets, Yeah.
Send me ammo, not a plane.
Yes, but now it's 2.5, 3 years later, and the guy still wears the same outfit. And this is something I don't like at all.
OD green, dark olive, drab.
Yes, he wears it like he's in the battle. He is the leader of a country of how many citizens? 40, 60 million?
I think it was around 46 million at
every time I see him, he reminds me of like Terminator Salvation. Yeah. With the commander that's just on the submarine.
Yes.
And he's like wearing like an outer carrier for some reason on a submarine. Like, makes no sense.
Yeah. I feel the same way about when in a very formal setting, and he's the only one in a button down.
It's like Fetterman.
I was like, what is going
Yes,
on?
like,
you might as well pop it up.
Like, exactly. Just,
yeah.
Like,
just, hey, guys.
Gym shorts and a sweatshirt, walking in, like, what's up?
And I get it. He wants to look the part, but, like, you're not looking the part of
that
the
financial aid.
Yeah, you got any more of that? What is it? USAID, yeah.
USAID. More of that aid?
So, something that kind of bothers me about him and has bothered me for a while, and I think you'll probably, really connect on this, is when beep beep
connect.
Oh, I went way too far. I thought I could only see out of the corner of my eye because it's blocking. I thought Anthony's going over here, so I just committed. Sorry. Anyway, so when someone buys dinner, this is the example, right? When someone buys dinner for the family or friends, every single time, all the time, right? All the time. None of us know what that's like. So, but if we were to, then roughly, 3 months in, 4 months in of doing this, you go, hey, I would like you guys to just pay tonight. Everyone's going to look at you like, you're the bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what's happening is they've been on the tit of America for so long that they expect it like it's theirs. And I don't think that's a good approach. Yep. I think gratefulness, thankfulness, and understanding that it is taxing. And when I mean taxing, like profound, they're taxing us and our money is going to them as a result. Yeah. It's the exact embodiment of taxing. So I think you felt that way last time I talked to you.
Yeah, it's I think as far as like approval stuff goes, I think most people would feel, in my opinion, that it's just like him lambs to slaughter type of deal. Like you got to figure like realistically speaking, like force versus force, like if Russia wanted to, they could mobilize, probably take Ukraine a couple days, all of it, without any help from any other country.
Yeah, and even if with it, I think I don't think that's possible now. Like
blitzkrieg type deal, but where I'm going with that is like I don't think people know what they want him to do, but they're not happy with what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like
it could be
it's like somebody's got a heel on his neck.
Yeah.
Right? Like he just can't
push
it off without dying. You know
we had that video that we did about Lavrov speaking. Actually, maybe it was Putin. The both. Tucker Carlson one.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Putin said that I think might be right, and we actually said at the time that we think that might be right, is when that big convoy of armor was pushing into Kiev and stopped. Like an act.
It was massive.
Right? Massive.
Yeah. It was huge.
Miles long. And like real armor, BMPs, tanks, etc., artillery. And so what Putin said the reason for that, and then like it was decimated because at some point they either ran out of gas or just were caught off guard because they thought that we were working on it.
Yeah.
He said we were negotiating in Turkey, and then Boris Johnson told Zelenskyy, this was the deal, right? This is what Putin said. Doesn't mean it's true. I don't trust the guy at all. But he said they were going to agree to not join NATO at all, and we would not invade Kiev. We would keep what we had from 2014 and back out, right? And supposedly Boris Johnson said, do not take the deal. If you take the deal, we're not going to be able to support you. And Zelenskyy at the last moment said, okay, I can't lose my Western partner. No deal. And then the war continued and intensified immensely.
Yeah.
Like what? That was day 3.
That was day 4. Yeah, that was at the start.
Like, and terrible military strategy on Russia's part, though, to mobilize all your stuff like that in a straight row.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't think of a more perfect scenario.
Well, the thing is, during that initial push, they had the airborne troops already in Kiev. So it was going to be easy to push in. They already had so much chaos.
What I'm saying is, like, you look at or in Afghanistan. Like when the combat engineers would go out, they'd have like an MRAT Bradley, couple Humvees, right?
Yeah, 100
and
killers.
then they would have Abrams, 1,000 yards left and right. So if they got hit, or that one of those Abrams got hit, they could still support. They weren't like all lined up in a perfect
that's
target,
hunter-killer teams, and you'd have staggered formations and maximum effective ranges of those vehicles would be it's a huge thing that I'm not qualified to know how to do, but
now going back to that, what he said about was it Boris Johnson?
Yeah.
With how Europe is acting right now, when there could possibly be like real peace talks, is insane.
I agree with you fully. I fully agree that now they've got a fire under their tail to figure this one out.
All of a sudden, was it Macron said everybody
emergency meeting Paris? Yeah.
Right now, all of us 2 days back to back, they're all around a table like they're like it's like around a kid's table. All of them sitting in a circle. Dudes,
it's a Jedi temple.
Yes.
I can't tell. Oh, wait, with the kids?
No.
Oh, okay.
What are we going to do, Master Anakin? There's too many of them.
I haven't told you this.
Oh my god!
Because we were talking about this. God. Was it today or yesterday? Today, right?
Maybe. Who knows?
We've been talking a couple days about it, and man, I'm gonna just say kind of what I feel, and then I'll try to substantiate some of that quickly. And when I say I feel, like I just have, sometimes I could just get a vibe about someone. Okay, like whatever, they may have ill intentions, and they do, right? Let's see if that works out. Okay, as weird as that sounds. Okay,
they're rubbing their hands together after they come to a deal.
I know.
Yeah,
probably ill intention.
The shoes, they weren't real.
It's my coin now.
Yeah. So we'll just call it discernment, right? And I have a feeling. I felt the same way that you did when they called for this emergency meeting, and everyone's flustered and like, why are they're going to do a deal without Ukraine? No, they're going to negotiate without Europe because that's what Putin asked for. Mm-hmm. And you guys haven't been talking to him. First off, that's the fact. Sorry.
Yeah.
How I felt was that I felt like I was being lied to when I saw the way that they responded, and they turned around for the picture, this NATO picture, right? I guess in France.
It was France.
It felt disingenuous, very like let's look like we're
doing something.
Like what are you doing a cameo for? Like I don't know. It just felt really strange. It didn't feel genuine. And when I don't feel like something's genuine, I distrust everything about it. I mean, to the bone. So to substantiate that super fast would be one. Why has, as Trump said today, why has it taken 3 years and nothing's happened? And now they're concerned to be in. Number two, we talked about this. International, and the international court has a warrant out for Putin. So why would I hypothetically go to someone else's house and meet a sheriff's deputy that he's friends with that he took a warrant out for my arrest?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now, I understand he can't be arrested in the Arab country, but the idea is this is my enemy. Why would I subject then you have the undermining, and they haven't tried to negotiate with him, to my knowledge, at all. And the last administration from our end did not even call Putin. So you want this war to end, but you're not willing to talk to the grand master of the orchestrator of this? I don't see how. He said something, and it's been ringing in my head. It's like they want it to continue.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that they do. And I personally don't think that Zelensky wants it to continue. I think he's trying to look for this magic move where everything lines up, where the death is justified for what now their peace deal is.
Yeah.
And that probably won't happen.
No.
So he's going to inherently perpetuate it without meaning to. I don't think he has malice with it, though. But I do see where it's like, you guys have had 3 years, and now you're complaining that I'm establishing a negotiations, or at least a contact. You guys weren't even doing anything. You're not talking. You're saying, we're going to sanction you this, we're going to do this, and we won't buy stuff from you, yet they're still buying gas. Like,
like
what has Europe? And we're not doubling down financially.
Yeah.
They're more at risk than we are by far. So what's the? It's starting to paint a really nasty picture that seems like maybe they did want this to continue. I don't mean Zelensky. I mean Europe.
War is profit.
Yes, exactly. I said that.
He said the exact same thing. Which, yes, it is. But I just don't want to see it that way.
It's very weird. Also, you have to think the amount of time it's taken Europe, even U.S., because it was their administration at the time, to get this equipment to Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
It's like insane. It's like they only give enough.
They're not going to give tanks. They're not going to give Challengers.
Yeah, then all of a sudden
they're
they
not
give a
going to
few.
give Abrams.
Yeah.
They're not going to give this.
Yes.
They're not going to give Bradleys. And then
when they give
here's a couple.
then when they give the Abrams, it's like there's no reactive armor.
Yeah.
So it's just like
we're not going to get. We'll never give F-16s.
Yes.
Ever. Here's F-16s.
Yeah.
And the time it's taken.
F-16s will be out of date soon anyway.
Oh
though.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
They already are. I mean,
it's.
But looking at how they're laying it out, how they're giving it, how they're showing this gift to Ukraine, it's like they're trying to just let them hold just enough. It's like, oh, this line of equipment's done. Let's give them some more to hold it a little longer. And, I forgot the guy at the table with Rubio, Lavrov.
Is it the American?
He's an American guy.
Gates?
Maybe Gates.
Was it the guy that had the little arrows, Special Forces arrows? That's Gates, yeah. The younger guy.
Yes.
Younger.
He spoke about it being like a World War II meat grinder. World War I meat grinder.
He did say that. That was Gates, yeah.
And that's what it is. And you look at it like this, this is an actual meat. There's no winning on either side right now.
Well, in Ukraine,
there's nothing.
First off, Ukraine being able to, with our weapons, with whoever weapons, to stop something like Russia from advancing is just a feat in its own. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's no embellishment needed. That's amazing. However, to think and sit back and think that can continue forever, Russia's always been good at military-industrial complex.
Yes,
they're not like it. They're not bad at war. Like they're pretty good at it.
They're
good at the attrition. Portion.
They're good at the attrition.
They've never been good at
the only reason they can hold is because when you have $400 billion of equipment.
Yeah.
When you have supposedly the best of the best, they should be able to do something.
Well, they're not. And I had it's on topic, but the whole Kursk region, which is the Russian part that Ukraine has entered into Russia and taken, right? I wondered if that is a bargaining chip. Like, I don't think that Putin, if he wanted that taken back and really wanted to, I think it would not be a problem. Just blow it to pieces.
Easily.
Who cares?
Easy.
All your people are out. So I don't know if that's a save-a-face bargaining chip that he's allowing to happen, or there's something fishy about why that's being allowed to be.
I feel like it's a really big game of chess that he's playing,
or he just doesn't care about that.
Oh
part.
Yeah,
or he's just I hate to say this is something for him to do.
Or it could be strategic in the hey, I've got resources that can attack within my country. Like Ukraine's been doing this the whole time. They have their line, and they always know what's back here because it's all Ukraine. Well, now you're playing the same ball game where this is Kursk and everything back here is Russia, so Russia can easily support.
Well, Zelensky said something pretty dumb. He said that Europe needs to make an army. And you heard that.
He said a European army.
Yeah, but
don't we have NATO?
Yeah.
I think that's a European North Atlantic Treaty.
We want one
army,
with us
and then
included.
You have EU.
But no, he said something.
That was
he said
panicky too.
Like Europe has only 100 brigades. He said something.
No, he said he said that Ukraine has 100 brigades or 1,000, whatever the number was. I don't want to miscorrect it.
It was Russia has like 250.
Double. They have double.
And Europe only has this. So we need to do something.
Oh, I thought he said that Ukraine,
no, not Ukraine.
I do think he said Ukraine, but
I'll look.
Either way, he's saying that let's build
exactly.
up.
But just saying that, it's like, what are you talking about? If you're destroying Russia, where is these 200 and something battle groups or platoons or whatever at? Like, what are you even talking about? Because if they had that many, Russia, they could take Kursk. Easily.
Well, they may have that, but aren't using it, right? So I think there's a ton that they're just kind of sitting aside.
I think that Zelensky does get kind of panicky.
Doesn't it seem like he's begging?
He's gonna be like, the Russians, they have those big Jaegers from Pacific Rim, and they're gonna
come over here.
You know? And I can
I got
only
the
I can only
Chimeras.
fit in the smaller ones.
Yeah.
5 foot.
It's like Gypsy Danger, nuclear driven. Gonna come at us, you know.
Connected to the inside.
Yeah.
And you guys took our nukes.
That's a great movie, man. We got
Pacific Rim in theaters.
Oh, it's so cool.
I saw the first. I didn't hate the second one. But I didn't like it as much as the first one.
The first one's pretty good, especially just the cinematography.
Oh yeah.
But
Gypsy
who doesn't
Danger.
like that? Who doesn't like robots bouncing around? So it's
You seen like the drone nets that they're putting up and stuff now?
yeah.
You know,
They're
870s with bird shotting them just to shoot the drones down.
That's what I'm saying. Like they are using. So, man, I don't.
There's a lot
I'm
to
not
talk
sure
about.
that I'm fully founded in my understanding and what I believe to be true here in the Ukraine war. I do see a shift where something didn't seem right. I don't trust Russia. I don't trust Putin, and until that regime's gone, I probably won't trust the people that come from it, especially the government. However, Trump said something that I don't try to be hard, but sometimes my heart's hardened. I'll be honest, especially in this realm. And when Trump said today, Europe has had 3 years to do this. Zelenskyy has had 3 years to find an end to this, find a resolution, and no one will even meet with Putin or talk to him. I'm doing it, and now people are mad at me for not including them. What have you done for 3 years? Why should I include someone who's been unsuccessful for 3 years and we're making progress in a month?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's not wrong. And so that kind of something clicked, and he said, I don't care. Russians are dying. Ukrainians are dying. And I don't like that. And I was like, well, duh, of course. But then he humanized it even further and said, they're people. I don't care who they are. They're dying.
Yeah.
And it just hit me like I've been kind of demonizing Russians. Not a fan, but I have been demonizing their military and the people, right, that are involved. And so I was like, yeah, cool. Kill as many as you need to, right? But at the same time, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
I like that because Trump kind of comes off as like such an arrogant a-hole. To hear him humanize humans.
He said that several times.
I really liked it. I've heard him say that the killing needs to stop, but he says, but I don't think I've ever heard him say, I haven't heard him say it doesn't matter where they're from, they're humans.
A few weeks back I was on X, and like you just like fall into like that rabbit hole of going through videos, and then you wind up making it to like the Ukrainian stuff. And it's like one video is of like dead Ukrainian soldiers, and they've got like personal effects on them. They'll have like a rose from their girlfriend, or the Russian guy had like a picture of his kid in his helmet. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And you're like, this was cool until now. Not cool, but
yeah. And a lot of the I'm sure it's like this on Russian channels because I don't look at them on Telegram and whatever. But what I'm seeing is like, they're like, yeah, we got another orc today, and blue. You know, this guy got to kiss the, like they play with them with the drones, and maybe it is for surveillance, or maybe they do have to like actually hit them.
Yeah, there was a Russian that there was like a APC that got hit, and one of the guys got out. He's obviously super hurt. He's done fighting, and he was running, and he turned around and he saw the drone coming at him, and he caught it.
I saw that.
And then
he fell, tripped, and
he dropped it, and it wasn't armed or couldn't detonate, or maybe it had the impact switch. Yeah,
they have little prongs. Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It's like he made it through all that.
Yeah,
it's holding and then it's okay.
It's like when you use your last stem and you think you're gonna plate up.
It's crazy.
And then out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think what. I got to be careful because it's YouTube, and then I'll hand the mic to someone else. But there's something that's really bothering me, man, that I'm seeing. Other than like some of the really gross stuff I've seen the Russians do, but they know a drone's coming. They know that they can't stop it, and they know they're alone. And you can see they're tired. They're they're mentally done from what you can see body language, and they barrel stuff themselves.
Oh yeah,
and make it happen. And it's not just this once
Oh,
twice.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I've been seeing it. I've probably seen it 5 times. Dude, it's bad, man. It's bad that I don't know. For some reason, that hurt. Like to see someone going, I'm a warrior. I'm out here doing my thing. I'm not even going to give a chance of getting mutilated. I'm just ending it here.
Yeah.
Like, now that life's just gone. Possibly didn't even have to, but
yeah. Well, I don't know what side it was, but a lot of when they send out the bomb drones, they also send out another drone that's got a speaker on it. That is like, this was months ago. I saw this, but it was like, basically surrender and we won't kill you.
oh, I haven't seen it. I've seen like the notes being dropped and stuff.
It depends on the group. I mean, I've seen it where people are surrendering and they still destroy them on videos.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that, and that's just
the grenades being dropped in the holes and stuff.
Exactly. But going back to Zelensky, I just don't. I never liked him.
It's true.
I think at the very start he was there for the moment, but being a leader of millions is very different. And his attitude of begging for resources to defend, which is good to do at the moment, but there's no after. Like, he gets what he wants, and he wants more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
He could have probably ended the war.
Yeah.
He probably ended it 3 years ago.
I'm actually really opening my eyes a little bit to the other side here. Just a little bit.
And then I was telling you, what was it? This month, the Defense Ministry of Ukraine is now allowing, 18 to 24-year-olds to be drafted with a certain signing bonus, something like that, if they go through with it. Not draft, I'm sorry, just sign on.
Yeah.
They can sign on with a bigger bonus.
Subscription.
Yes. Anyone over 25 for that, but
you get drafted and you owe them money.
Yes.
That sucks. Your account has been overdrafted. By what? And it's like the Ministry of Ukraine. Crap.
But looking at that,
I'm getting lobster tonight.
Oh, no.
That sucks. I guess we're evading something. So I think what you're saying, what I see is, it sounds like it's, you know how you do the day-to-day. You got to do the day-to-day sometimes for the grind, especially like arduous stuff like military, law enforcement, or whatever, some sort of training that's arduous, right? That day-to-day is important because you have an end goal. Mm-hmm. You know, if I make it day 1, then on day 73, I'll be this, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever. That's not war. And that's certainly not this one. So if you're doing a day-to-day, I feel like this is a little, what we call that nearsighted. It's almost like it kind of sounds like Zelensky's going upstairs, right? Like, this is how I see it, right? And I don't think he's maliciously doing it. I want to be really clear. I don't think he has malicious intent, but he's going up and up the stairs trying to meet whatever it is day by day. Mm-hmm. Well, you got to realize you're climbing now, and how far are you going to climb? And I do think that an effective leader, the ones that I think are effective, they problem solve, which he is to some level for escalation and for retention and the attrition of the enemy. Sure, that's being done well, I think. But for the option to end the war, for negotiations, I think that for the most part has just not even been part of the plan.
There's
so why?
There's no objective that I see. Like, there's no, I don't see like him having an actual
end.
Like when he does, like when they do like a push, like they push until they can't push anymore, but there's no like objective. Like there's no goal that I see. Like when we hit the beach in Normandy, our goal was to make it to Berlin.
Yes.
So we took Utah Beach, then Saint Marie du Mas, and so on and so forth till we got there.
It's right on my computer screen right now.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at, like, you have to think, we landed on the beach in June 6, 44. Mm-hmm. The war was over in 45.
Yeah. That was a lot of bloody fighting, too.
I have it's super random, but I have a March of 95 M1.
That's very cool.
Yeah, supposedly I think they had to redo the barrel because it's like an expert, but yeah, apparently it saw something. So that's
cool.
Yeah, I wonder how far that went.
But
it was in France.
But so, this, like, it's a different war, but still, it was over.
There's like what I'm saying
When
is
we
though,
got
like
there.
he's not like pushing to take
there's
an
not.
objective.
There isn't an objective.
No.
It's to just stop them. And here's where I feel like,
But on both sides.
Yeah.
Putin doesn't have an
Sure.
objective either.
No,
He's
not
just
right now.
shoving
but
back.
he
Yeah.
can afford
Yeah.
it.
It's just this weird tug of war. That
Yes,
Ukraine
yes.
can't.
Yeah.
Because number one, we can't trust that the funding's going to continue, at least from America. Two, you're going to run out of men. It's going to happen. You will run out of men. The attrition game is just numbers. If we're doing numbers, Russia will win
Yes.
just based on numbers,
Yes.
right? Even if they're killing 4-1, Russia has more people. Sorry, that's just population.
More
right?
men.
And
math.
they're a lot more
Numbers.
aggressive with their conscriptions, right? So like Transylvania or Transnistria, excuse me, has like almost no
Transylvania.
men left.
Dracula. He ate them all.
no men left.
Houston.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do see where it's like, okay, if yes, understand day to day military wise, but you're not just the executive branch military wise. Your job is to lead your country, right? So to protect the assets. It's not fair. No one should have invaded Ukraine. It's not a fair game. Russia's the aggressor. Trump has said that. Like how he just said that today and the day before and the day before and the day before, and that this wouldn't have happened if it was preventable. We don't know that it was, but if it was, let's not even play that game. It's not a preventable thing because it's happened and it's happened for 3 years. So if Zelenskyy in 3 years could not come up with some sort of compromise, right? Going to the military leadership, going to our leadership, going to another country, speaking to, he did try to speak to China. I don't know, India, someone. Find someone. Dude, if my house was about to be bankrupt, thank God that's not ever going to happen. But if I was about to lose my home, bro, I'm gonna go out. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care if I have to scrub floors at Mickey D's.
Yeah. I don't know if they scrub them, but yeah.
They don't.
They
They're
look at
slick,
'em.
dude. You got to wear those slick shoes.
Yeah, it's like all grease.
Yes.
It's like they don't clean it. They just put a
Of course they don't. They
fresh
got
layer of grease.
They have random people going in there and making their own fries. So
Yeah.
of course it's not.
I bet you morale is crazy low on the Ukrainian
I
side.
think now
Yes.
that Trump's here, it is. But I think that they do see that there's an end. And there's another really weird thing that I just go through psychologically. You know, I've toyed with the idea of, going the officer route and stuff in the Army. I haven't really told hardly anyone that, so I might as well tell the world. But
Yeah, that's a good idea.
that moment in World War II, at the very end, at Victory Day, I wonder how many people died an hour before that.
Oh, thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the craziest thing to think? My best friend or my battle buddy or whatever,
Dude,
or my husband or my whatever.
look at freaking Saving Private Ryan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Even after,
Yeah.
Like what?
Who didn't know
5
that
minutes before air support got there? You know, the
And-
captain gets
yeah.
killed.
Yeah, and then think about even the news hasn't spread.
Look at Japan with 2 bombs. I mean,
They were going to surrender. My understanding is they were going to surrender before the second one. So I'm just saying, like, that's always bothered me. Like, how many people could live if this was fixed sooner? So extrapolate one day. Now let's turn that into
Yeah.
3 years, 2.5 years, 2 years. Man, I don't know. I don't know if Putin just realized he couldn't push and then eventually has found out he can't. He's not being successful for sure. So now he's ready to come to the table. Maybe this was going to happen anyway. But I think there had to be another way. There had to be for 3 years. There had to.
oh,
be
there
another
was.
way,
There's
is
plenty of ways.
just a few days away.
For no one to talk with Putin, for Zelensky not to open channels, for Europe not to open channels, for the last...
Not even to not open, to prevent channels from being open.
So it's like, if you look at it, they are trying so hard not to accept peace, even though there's an aggressor. It's like they're just trying to be this fake strength. It doesn't make any sense when they're the ones not losing anyone.
Strength.
I tell you what.
That's
Some
the combat
fried-
heat. That's the kind of thing.
And,
Gotta be ready to attract some clouds.
Yeah.
100% polyurethane.
100%.
They can't detect these mammal jambos.
I'll tell you what.
That is one of the greatest skits they did, dude.
It really was.
Can I ask you a question? Feel free to say no. But can we see? I will not take no for an answer. Why? That's a wild show.
Yeah.
That is.
So, yeah, man. I mean, I think we're on the same page. Brian Less, if he ever watches this or whatever, I think he'll. I don't know if he'll appreciate what I'm saying. Maybe it looks like I'm turning to the dark side. I'm not trying to. I'm just looking at it.
Good.
I'm.
Good. Welcome.
What does he say? What does the emperor always say? Anyway.
Turn to the dark.
That's one thing I will say. I've seen so many oh my god.
Wait, hold on. Dude. I'm sorry, but your shield generator will be quite operational when your friends arrive. And he's like, the Family Guy one where he's like, you don't have to be such a dick about it.
That's right. He's like, do it.
Do it. One thing I've seen a lot of is pro-Ukrainian accounts fully being pro-Ukrainian to the point of no reason. And
delusion?
Yes.
Delusion.
Yes, delusion,
yeah, I see that too. Like dehumanizing.
Yes.
Demonizing.
Well, kind of, in a way. It could be both ways. But
it's a mindset of they're the enemy and they're less.
Yes.
And nothing will allow us to have. It's this, and I get it. Maybe if you're fighting and someone's blown up your
These people
family.
aren't fighting.
Well, some
That's
have.
the thing.
Some
have.
I mean, think
but not
about
all
who's
of them.
been affected, right? Like Ukrainians have been absolutely destroyed. Their homes have been destroyed. It's been. You think Gaza's bad, dude? Get out of here, bro.
Oh yeah, even Trump said it today. But
it's
the
a shame,
thing is,
but that doesn't mean that we can't have a
we can
some
have peace.
way
We can get
to
peace
figure.
right
It's
now.
not gonna. You're not gonna get peace by continuing something that's clearly
How many
met its
troops
match right
did
here.
Russia lose in World War II? 9.8 million, 11.2.
I know it was. I thought it was close to 10. I'm not sure.
So
I'm not sure.
That
I'll look
number
while you're telling
alone,
me.
I'm just going to put that out there. That's how many troops they lost in Russia and in World War II alone. They only have they lost 1 million in this war.
Yeah.
They can keep going.
You know what Patton said?
What did he say?
He's like, we should.
Oh, he said a lot of things.
He said a lot of things.
He said some
He had
things
some
that I'm
books.
not even.
He said we should keep going and take Russia.
He did say that.
He did.
He did say.
But then he also said like,
And you know
we
why?
may be
You know
fighting the
why
wrong
he's
people here.
You know, oh yeah, they can't drive tanks, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the reason he said that is he saw the Russians the way that I see them, at least at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They only were now allied powers because the Axis powers turned on them.
Yeah.
That's like you and I hate each other, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to explain that.
Me and you
Go
hate
ahead.
each other, but then we both hate Anthony more.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're just gonna
be like,
and Anthony and I are
Hey.
cool, right? And you hate him, but he turns on me. So now you and I are cool.
right.
No way, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That
That's
whole
what
thing was
Italy
bad.
did though. Like
Yeah,
Germany was
they
like,
all did it.
hey, we're like you're with us, and they're like, like nah, dude,
Because they saw that they were
you
losing.
with me,
They-
and they're like, all right,
And yeah. So I still see that, and maybe it's not fair to paint Russians in that way, but I don't know that fully. How could that fully be uprooted in just a generation or two? I don't think it could.
I mean,
especially
It's
do
3
they,
generations
like
now.
so for
Yeah.
Germany.
yeah, but
for,
I'm counting him as a second.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
like Germany, for instance.
Putin.
Like, do they teach the Holocaust and stuff in
I don't think they do anymore.
Germany? Like, is
Yeah.
that they do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they have. They in Berlin specifically, they have these. It's kind of a strange thing, but there's just like huge concrete slabs, and they represent if you stack the ashes.
Oh.
And they get larger and larger as you
Well,
go.
I will
It's everywhere.
say,
It's crazy.
somebody who's very near and dear to my heart, who's very bad at geography, had said that they wanted to go to Germany to see it, and I was like, oh, I mean, maybe. And then this person was like, I really want to go to Auschwitz, and I was like, okay, that's not in Germany though.
What?
Sorry, I did look it up.
What is it?
dude, this, I don't know if this is includes civilian casualties. 26.6 million.
Yeah. That's got to be civilians. So.
Which I know that Stalin was really bad about killing his own people.
Kursk, that was what was that? Was an industrial city.
Yeah.
A ton of workers and stuff,
but still 26 million.
Wow, yeah.
26.6 million people.
26.6 million people died.
That's half of Ukraine's
9
population.
million
More than half.
Military deaths.
That's more. Isn't Ukraine's original numbers were like around 42, 44?
Yeah. And just right to that one number alone, they can keep going. Ukraine cannot.
Yeah. And you have to know that.
When you have all of, like, right now the population for Ukraine as 2022 is 38 million.
Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Almost.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's just, when you look at Ukraine, they cannot financially or just as a country keep this up.
They can't.
They can't
even
rebuild.
If we continue to support them.
They can't repopulate.
No.
I mean, this is such a bad look. And when I say about the leadership,
like be 3
that's a real
babies at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be the baby boom. They'll have to.
They'll have to.
But it's just such a sad thing, man, because
like the old days.
Yeah.
It's just sad. The whole thing's
very
sad.
sad.
It's sad that civilians get caught up in war, especially the way that that Russia hit them with thermobarics and all sorts of dumb stuff, just purposely targeting civilian, not even infrastructure, just where they're living. It's wrong. I'll never forgive Russia for that unless God just somehow moves my heart. But, it's got to end. It's got to end. It will end with Ukraine.
Get moved.
Kalima.
Why are you guys doing this like
Kalima?
What is this, a coup? This is freaking me out.
Indiana Jones, dude. Hum dum shabai, hum dum shabai, hum dum shabai.
I got you. But he was doing some emperor stuff.
Ultimate power.
Our Lord Vader. Like,